Well, it's my first year here at HB, and I guess it's pretty cool. I've enjoyed getting to know many of the students here, and my classes are really nice. I have one class, though, it's quite interesting to say the least. It's my history class with Mr. Moffat, and we tend to learn a lot of random facts that I'm not sure are really relevant in my life.
History. Tory. The origin of history comes from two words, hist and Tory. Say it with me, class. Hist, Tory. Today, I'm going to be teaching you on the phonetical definition of the word history. We're going to start off with the H. The H in history stands for happiness. Happiness. Happy to be in history. Happy to study history. You know what I'm talking about, right, Mindy? Okay. Well, the letter I. The letter I of history stands for the Indians. The Indians were the original developers of the first history book thousands of years ago. They were the ones who really helped to start a lot of the history that happened in the world. Well, you know what I'm talking about, right, Tiffany?
Seriously, Mr. Moffat, stop making Indian references to me. I'm not Indian. We've been through this. I'm German. I'm not even slightly Indian.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I can be Indian if you want me to be. My great-great-great-grandpa, von Hohenstaufen, killed a whole Indian tribe with his bare hands, and we use that land now to raise chickens on a farm.
All right, Nick, you're the Indian. Now, for the letter S. The letter S stands for, long ago, there was a mythical creature from the Netherlands, and his name was Sinterklaas. And this man brought said history to all the children of the world. And we all know who that man is, right, class?
Santa!
Yes, Santa. But, interesting thing, if you take the name Santa and you move the N to the opposite end, you now have what, class?
Satan?
Yes. Santa is the true villain of Christmas. He's the one who poisons the minds of the children everywhere. All right, class. Today, we're going to go ahead and work on our ancient civilization map. So go ahead and take out your marker, and then your map should be sitting there on your desk, and you can start working on it. And I'll be back at my desk. If you have any questions during the class hour, you can go ahead and just raise your hand, and I'll be sure to answer that question for you. And but I'll be grading them at the end of the class hour, so make sure it's done by the end of the class.
I've been in Miss Moffat's class since 7th grade. That's about 5-6 years. And now, well, I don't really know if he's had much of a collegiate background in teaching. I mean, some of the things he says, I don't really know if there's much truth to his lessons. And it seems about half of the time, he tends to give us worksheets and sits back at his desk and does, well, who knows what.
would say I have a different philosophy on life and education than most other people. I consider myself to be kind of like a salmon. I tend to go and swim upstream, while everybody else tends to leisurely float downstream. I graduated from college with a marriage and fatherhood degree. I didn't take the easy road like the other kids in college, and that wasn't easy for me. On the weekends, my friends would go out and party, but I myself, I had cakes to bake, and I had clothes to sew, unlike them, and it was pretty hard on me. After I got married, I planned on being a stay-at-home dad, and my wife was going to work for me. But to make a long story short, I kind of put myself in debt purchasing a car right after college, and I had to pay it off, and now I got to spend the next 6 years of my life trying to pay it off. But when it comes to education, my philosophy is that the person doing the work is the person doing the learning. If I'm the one out there working all the time, and I'm the one up there teaching, then I am doing all the learning. So what's the point in that? These kids don't pay for me to learn for them. They need to be doing the work. Okay, go ahead and clean off your maps, and then you all can go ahead and have a good day.
Are you serious?
This is just like Mr. Moffat. He sends us so many times to us. He tells us to do all this classwork for a grade. Then when we finish, he tells us to clean up our maps without even grading them. Or he ends up throwing our homework away and never even grades it.
He does have a great heart and all. It's just that we can read him like a book sometimes. He puts his whole heart into certain things, but it's just up to us to use it for our benefit.
Yeah, like last week, we really wanted to go out to eat for lunch. We told Mr. Moffat that the annual Teacher of the Year award was going to be held in New York soon, and one of the stipulations for the award was the teacher has to buy his entire class lunch for one day. We also told him that the teacher gets extra bonus points if the lunch is purchased at Culver's. He was pretty eager to win that award.
All right, class. Today, I'm going to be taking you around the world, and I'm going to be teaching you about all the different Christmas traditions that the young boys and the young girls have. But to start off, we're going to go to Mexico. And in honor of that, I'm actually going to have our student teacher, Mr. Ibarra, teach you today. Now, one thing you're going to have to be very careful of, and really you're going to have to listen up very, very closely, because, well, Mr. Ibarra is straight from Mexico. And honestly, he doesn't speak great English. No offense. But he doesn't know what I'm saying anyway, so it doesn't matter. But in just a second, we're going to go ahead and give him a round of applause, and that's when I told him to come up when he hears us clapping. So let's all go ahead and start clapping, and he's going to come up. All right, here we go. I was given a foreign exchange student teacher this year to help me. A very, very kind young man he is, but he doesn't actually speak much English. Somehow they missed that in the translation of who gets which student teacher. I've enjoyed getting to help him over the year, but I can tell he's totally lost. And but today's going to be an absolute disaster for him, but I'll let him take the class by himself.
I actually am an English major in college, but my first day meeting Mr. Maffei, he thought I somehow only spoke Spanish, I guess because I'm brown and all. But I just thought to myself, how much easier would it be if I only spoke Spanish? So it's been a pretty easy semester for me so far.
Of course, finished dinner. We had tamales for dinner. We stayed till midnight. At midnight, we open our gifts, and then we all have coffee and go to bed after that. But that is how we celebrate Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.